training the body to develop it. At the beginning, man always lives optimistically, but gradually he becomes pessimistic under the influence of the surrounding environment and external causes, such as dangers, calamities, disasters, adverse circumstances, stresses, that cause pains, sufferings, sorrows, and anguish to his body, heart, and mind. For that reason, man gets ill. The main root causes of illnesses in this era are worry, fear, anger, and revenge. External and internal root causes of illnesses are related to the four sacred substances. 1. If the light is not stable or not well balanced, the mind will be confused, not bright. The confusion of the mind causes disorder in the state of the heart and makes the body fall ill and the nervous system indisposed. In short, the mind, the heart, and the body are all indisposed. 2. If the human electric is not well balanced, the circulations of qi and blood are not steady. If the heart fluctuates, the unstable state of the heart causes disorder of feelings. Consequently, the flesh body is influenced and suffers persistent pain. The instability of human electric causes pain to the heart and the body. 3. If both qi and blood are not stable, the body will suffer pain and fall ill. Patients can recover from illnesses by stabilizing the powers of the four sacred substances in their body, heart, and mind when these powers are ruined or unstable in their circuits. Illnesses occur to the flesh body because of two root causes. The decrease of outer powers, the flesh body falls ill. The decrease of inner powers, the body, the heart, and the mind are bad or sick. The outer powers are called refined powers. They may diminish due to deficiency of foods and drinks or insufficient oxygen in breathing. The inner powers are superpowers, mystic powers, and cosmic energy. The decrease or loss in these powers results from the fluctuation of the states of the heart and the mind. The way to restore one's health is to know accurately which power is being ruined and to nourish it. To cure psychological illnesses, the patients must adjust from inside. If the refined powers are reduced, one must take enough fragrance and sweet-smelling taste in meals, fruits, and vegetables. If qi powers diminish, one must gather qi and nourish it by practicing deep breaths in order to accumulate the purest qi. If the flesh body suffers from pains and diseases because of microbes, accidents, disasters, sudden changes in temperature, or instability in the circulations of blood and qi, it can be cured by medicines or healing physics. But if the flesh body feels pains caused by disturbances in feelings or emotional troubles, the circulations of qi and blood are unstable. One must use psychological means to cure or use Tao scores to eliminate distresses. If the heart and the mind fall ill because they are hurt by adverse circumstances, then normal medicine cannot restore one's health. No pill can ever cure anger, fear, revenge, because they are the illnesses of the heart and the soul. Only Tao scores can cure them by keeping the heart in peace, thus ending psychological disturbances. When the heart is in peace, qi becomes harmonious. When qi is in harmony, the circulation of blood is steady as well. When qi and blood are well balanced, the cycle of circulation becomes regular and the flesh body is restored to good health. Self-cure is to nourish all powers within one's body. When the inner powers are adequate, the practitioner can even help others by transfusing to them a portion of his inner powers in order to stabilize their system of inner powers. Transfusing Qi through Qi body, transfusing human electric and Qi through the electric body, and diffusing the light through the light body. The light can stabilize the electric and Qi of a patient. For example, using Qi body. The practitioner has to know for sure when Qi body appears. At that time, the flesh body and the liquid body are not in operation, but depend on the activities of the Qi body. When the Qi body operates, the supermind also functions. Consequently, one's super idea is able to control and conduct the flows of Qi into the patient's body. In order to identify accurately the presence of Qi body, we can recognize when it operates, that is, when the 5 natural sense organs feel no sensation, the practitioner perceives a transcendent state existing in the 3 frontal parts of Qi and in his brain. There is no perception of breath. The practitioner can be aware of Qi life in the inside only. Feelings are the powers of Qi body. When one kind of feeling appears, it is one kind of power of the Qi body that activates. When one kind of Qi fluctuates rapidly, Qi powers rule. As anger rises, a kind of power existing in liver and gallbladder arises. The same happens in case of other feelings. Whenever all feelings stop, all kinds of Qi powers gather and become a unique power of Qi body that reaches the highest intensity of Qi body. In other words, when Qi is in a static state, the intensity of Qi body reaches its climax. In such state, the super idea will direct Qi current into the patient's body. The sciences dealing with illness treatment and cure can be classified into many levels. Medicinal treatments, medicinal techniques, and medicinal course treat and cure diseases of the flesh body, nourish the life powers of the flesh body which belong to Qi and blood. Purest medicinal course prevents the illnesses that come from Qi and blood, nourishes pure Qi. When the Qi body is kept powerful, the flesh body is also healthy and gets higher longevity. Tao's medicine nourishes the life by A. Intensifying human electric. The electric body is mighty, and consequently, the Qi body and the flesh body become strong. Thus, the longevity of the flesh body increases. B. Intensifying the light. When the light body is constituted, the 3 other bodies are influenced by the light and become stronger. One acquires the life. The intensification of human electric and the light is to create the animations of the light and human electric. The more energetically these 2 sacred substances animate, the more sacredness and miraculousness in one's body increase. In practice, one must know thoroughly the 2 states of being moving and static in order to nourish the real nature of powers. Moving is the fluctuation of powers. Being static is the real nature of powers. Idea, thought, is capable of dispersing, gathering, and or transmuting powers. A. When sensations no longer exist in the circulation of blood, i.e., when the flesh body has no more sensation, it is the real nature of refined power. B. When the 3 frontal parts of Qi, instead of the lungs, breathe without the existence of feelings, i.e., without the fluctuation of feelings in the heart, It is the real nature of Qi powers. The real nature of Qi powers creates the unique nature of Qi in the inside and the outer surface of the body, leading via into the atmosphere. The atmosphere includes two areas. The lower mass of Qi surrounding the Earth's surface is the area of Yin Qi, in which Yang Qi also animates, and the higher mass above the Earth, which is only Yang Qi, spreading to the end of the extent of Qi in the atmosphere. C. Keeping the heart in the genuinely void state, i.e., without moods or without feelings aroused by past events. It is the real nature of powers. D. Keeping the mind in the genuinely void state, suspension of the functions of the mind. It is the real nature of the light. The most effective method is to nourish the real nature of powers, which are the pure powers of the sacred substances. It is these pure powers that put spiritual life into action, activate and strengthen the soul. When the powers fluctuate, their intensity is revealed. The motion or animation can either be visible, supervisible, or super-supervisible. Even when liquid moves most mightily to its climax, it is always inferior to Qi. Qi is lower in rank compared to electric, and electric is inferior to light. When the whole body of water is calm, one cannot perceive its power with his eyes. It moves in streams, but the eyes cannot realize. If great waves rise, they do not originate by themselves, but the winds cause the water to move in waves. The wind speed, Qi, engenders large waves. The wind is a super-visible power that moves and causes the visible motion of strong waves. But what causes the motion of Qi? The motion of Qi is caused by the motive power of electric. And what originates the motive power of electric? The light. Man's body is alike. When idea, super-idea, super-super-idea appear, the refined power starts to move, which is engendered by the press of superpower Qi. The motion of the superpower is engendered by the mystic power, electric, which is produced by the light, cosmic energy. The cosmic energy, the light, is the mightiest power. The mystic power, electric, the second mightiest power. The superpower, Qi, the third. The refined power, blood, the lowest power compared to the other three powers. The stronger powers, light, electric, gather in the brain. The supermind and the super-supermind get the capability to control and conduct these stronger powers, but the mind can conduct the superpower and the refined power only. However, the possibility to conduct these functions of the mind results from ideas. There are many kinds: idea, super-idea, and super-super-idea. For idea to be realized unto powers, these powers must exist earlier before the mind can conduct them. For example, the realization of super-idea by the mystic power of electric body in the spreading scope of the mystic power. Whenever the heart is in the genuinely void state, its mystic power diffuses. Wherever the mystic power reaches, the supermind reaches. If the super-idea of the supermind animates, it immediately produces the descendant transmutation of electric, and the mystic power realizes the super-idea. The mystic power gathers in the supernatural small world in the flesh body. Meanwhile, it moves also in the supernatural world around the body. It can extend through the refined power and Qi power and animates in latency in them. In summary, deeds are realized because of idea, and the effect of realization depends on the available conditions. The moment an idea appears, the mind can conduct the powers, but the effect depends on the intensity of powers. So, it suffices to say that the functions are in the mind, but the effect depends on the intensity of powers. Powers include many kinds. Only the mind corresponding to a specific kind of power can conduct that power. 4 sacred substances animate in man. Each substance gets its specific system. 4 sacred substances are the 4 animating systems that connect to each other. Each system gets its own yang and yin. Among the 4 main systems, there are 3 intermediary ones. They are constituted by the yang and the yin of 2 different systems. The yang of a heavier substance corresponds to the yin of a lighter one. For instance, yang liquid and yin qi. So the 3 intermediary systems include the one of yang liquid and yin qi, the one of yang qi and yin electric, and the one of yang electric and yin light. The most complex system is that of liquid, because in which 3 other different systems animate according to the general and particular animations of each system. After liquid system comes qis, then electrics. But in the light system, only yang light and yin light animate. The light system is the most important. The light spreads everywhere in the flesh body, such as in flesh, bones, hairs. Following the light system is the electrics, then qis, and at last liquids. The cessation and animation in the relations of the 4 systems are as follows. In liquid system, all 4 systems are related and animate. Liquid with qi, electric, and light in the latency. When liquid ceases moving, the other substances continue to animate outside liquid. When blood stops moving, qi, electric, and light spread out of blood and continue to animate. When electric ceases moving, it affects qi and liquid blood, both of which stop moving, but only the light still animates. If the lightest substance, the light, stops moving, all other substances cease operating. Then the light, yang light, and the yin light also stop operating. They unite with each other and become the perpetual life. Knowing clearly the relation among the 4 substances in the cessation and animation of the 4 systems, the practitioner can perform the rapture rapidly by stopping the animations of the 2 lighter substances, electric and light, or making electric and light animate forever by aligning their animations with those in the cosmos. 1. In a rapture, the practitioner controls and stops all animations of electric and light, thoughts, remembrance, thinking, feelings, in order to stop the life's powers of these substances, so that the life can spread out from them. 2. But in Tao's way of living, the practitioner performs the animations of virtues and Tao's characters, which are identical to genuine virtues and Tao's characters of the cosmos. This means the practitioner must animate lastingly virtues and Tao's characters. In a rapture, the practitioner stops the motion of the 2 lighter substances, electric and light, i.e., he stops the life's powers of these substances, namely feelings, virtues, thoughts, remembrance, thinking, in order to conduct the life of the 2 substances in his body to become equal to that of the same substances in the cosmos. In other words, he stops the life's power of the heart and the mind in order to make the two lives of the small cosmos and the great cosmos merge into each other. In Tao's way of living, animating forever the electric and the light of the heart and the mind is to equalize them with the same substances in the cosmos. Virtues and Tao's characters in man are then equal to the substance, the character, and the character's energy of genuine virtues and Tao's characters of the cosmos. That means the two kinds of virtues and Tao's characters in man and in the cosmos are without ego, without doing, and the two cosmoses become one and animate forever. In exercising, the practitioner needs to see the regular animation in the inside and controls to stabilize it. As a result, both the outside and the inside will become stable. Thanks to the regularization and the control of breaths in the inside, the heart no longer has fluctuations, i.e., without feelings. The body becomes genuine body. Thanks to the good regulation of his breath, the practitioner can be aware of the miraculousness of the functions of yang and yin. The moment he perceives the exhalation to be long and delicately gentle, as if without breathing, yang qi becomes yin electric, and he can feel the transcendent state vivifying right inside his body. This is the reduction of the two circuits of yang qi and yin qi. The circuits are reduced gradually to a very small degree, as if they vanished. Then the two circuits of yang and yin explode, releasing the new units of yang and yin of another, lighter substance, which is electric, which animate in latency in the two exploded units. When the two currents of yang qi and yin qi in their circuit are restricted to a small degree, they explode. From the explosion, two currents of yang electric and yin electric, which earlier existed in latency in the two exploded currents, then flow out. Each qi current contains many units. When they explode, so do all of their units. There are external signs of the states of the four sacred substances in man's body. Qi and blood, feelings and sensations, have no fluctuation. The whites of the eyeballs become bluish. Electric, wickedness, evilness, has no great fluctuation, or when virtues animate, the iris becomes transparent and limpid. The light, thought by individual ego, does not fluctuate greatly. The pupils of the eyes are brilliant and sparkling. In the process of training, when a kind of body is constituted, the practitioner should nourish it. Everybody experiences this evolution. However, few notice it. This is the transmutation of body. The involuntary transmutation of body results from the animations of the sacred substances. The spreads of bodies are because of the brain, by the light of the mind. 1. Newborns get the flesh body only. When the child has teeth and takes foods and drinks, he absorbs yang and yin of liquid from them. Thus, his liquid body is constituted. When the child lives with feelings, his qi body is formed. With virtues, his electric body starts to be constituted. With Tao's characters in his way of living, he gets the light body. It is the process of natural phenomena marked by gradual involuntary transmutations of bodies. This process does not depend on one's age, but on changes of one's sensations, feelings, virtues, and thoughts. Each kind of body must be nourished by suitable substances. The flesh body and liquid body must be fostered by foods and drinks that contain liquid and qi. The qi body must be provided with any food and drink that contain more fragrance than flavors, and be provided with pleasant feelings. The qi body becomes healthy and strong if yang qi and yin qi are pure. The electric body must be supplied with electric, i.e., virtues and/or thoughts belonging to the cause. The light body must be nourished by the light, Tao's characters. In underdeveloped bodies such as liquid body and qi body, the nourishment connects to both the outside and the inside. But to the electric body and the light body, the process of growing must happen from inside, but the absorbed energies are taken from outside. 2. The bodies spread out from the brain. This is realized by the light. The light exists in the three kinds of mind. Each mind can conduct the corresponding body and its activities. The mind can control and direct the flesh body, the liquid body, and the qi body. The supermind is able to conduct the electric body and the qi body, including the flesh body and the liquid body. The supermind can conduct the light body, including all other bodies. The supermind and the supermind are able to perform the detachment of any kind of body from the flesh body. It is one among natural capabilities of man when he knows how to gather his dispersed light into his brain and uses it effectively. The process of strengthening the kinds of body and sacred organs is related to Thân. The soul, the qi body, and the electric body become strong thanks to strong Thân, much as the health of the flesh body is obtained from pure qi and clean blood, no pathogen in blood. If the heartbeats are strong and flapping with emotions, Thân disperses. An exception is in case of doing sports, gymnastics, or physical exercises, but without flapping emotions. Even if the heart beats faster and more strongly, one's Thân is still kept strong. The dispersion of Thân comes from thoughts that are connected to such feelings as anxiety, anger, and fear, making the heart strike more strongly. Whenever the heart beats are steady, gentle, but powerful, Thân gathers. If one's Thân is mighty, then uncleaned, toxic qi and liquid, wild beasts, etc., cannot harm or cause injuries to his body. On the contrary, those who live with weak or dispersed Thân often die suddenly with flapping emotions, such as people inebriated by ferment or drugs. Qi and blood are clean and healthy. Then the heart becomes strong, and thus the flesh body is healthy. If the superpowers are strong, then the soul is strong, and the qi body is mighty. Mystic powers and Thân are strong, then the soul becomes mighty, and the electric body is strong. Thân is an invisible and synthesized power of qi and blood. It is the invisible power of red blood. It is imperishable and persists after qi and blood cease moving, for instance, in a rupture or in the death of the flesh body. With mighty Thân, the observing mind becomes keen, the remembering mind is good, the thinking mind is clear and quick, and the intelligent mind arranges thoughts in a quick and orderly manner. With weak Thân, the remembering mind diminishes, the speech is not fluent, the words spoken indistinctly. mumbling. Anybody who wants to strengthen Thân should practice it at noontime. One of the most effective methods to make the flesh body healthy and Thân stronger is to foster the original Qi. Fostering the original Qi differs from the breathing function by the lungs. The latter is to maintain oxygen and send away carbon dioxide. The original Qi is fostered by using the lower parts of the frontal body trunk as the fundamental part and conducting the light of the mind to mix with pure Qi. When the original Qi is strong, the heartbeats become gentle and Thân is mighty, improving the inner powers. This procedure helps man to rejuvenate. It is a phenomenon that restores youthful vigor and makes one's appearance young again. This change gets two specific characteristics, spiritual and physical. Both changes take place in the inside. 1. The spiritual nature results from the unification of the heart, the mind, and the body, which operates simultaneously, i.e., the unification of the soul and the body. All of the three small worlds become one. The superheart is also the supermind and also the superbody. The soul is the animation of the superheart and the supermind. It requires the purity and the unification of the superheart and the supermind. With its nature, the soul is able to rejuvenate the flesh body, or at least can keep the cells powerful and last longer than usual. 2. The physical nature. A. The moment the superheart and the supermind become one, human electric in man's body is equal to the cosmic electric. B. This electrical field, spreads out from the body, or the brightness of the soul spreads from the body, and rejuvenates man. The deterioration and decrepitness of man result from the fluctuations of Qi and blood, and these fluctuations are caused by the motive powers of electric and the light. The rejuvenation is caused by the animations of clean and pure nature of the superheart and the supermind. That means all activities must be performed with the clean and pure nature of the soul. Thanks to this, the cells in the flesh body restore their youthful vigor. The clean and pure nature of the soul is the most peaceful state in which the electric and the light are free from all fluctuations of feelings and thoughts of an individual echo. Therefore, electric and the light become sacred in the intercommunication between the two supernatural and supernatural worlds. Thus, the soul can perform miracles. All organs that have functions and capabilities need to be trained so as to further develop and improve. The mind has 4 functions, but its capabilities vary from person to person. In the early stage of life, the capability of each organ is similar, but its later development depends on one's practice. The refined power, Qi's power, electric's power, and light's energy all must be developed by practice and exercise. When the refined power is in the period of descendant transmutation, one should do sports and strong physical activities. But in the period of ascendant transmutation, one should perform gentle physical exercises to maintain one's inner powers. The same happens to Qi power. It also goes through 2 periods, descendant and ascendant transmutation. A wise person will use hard training method in the period of descendant transmutation and apply ways to nourish Qi power in the period of ascendant transmutation. In the case of electric power and light's energy, one must develop their capabilities right in their functions. The faculties of seeing and hearing in aged people lessen, which results from the decrease in the powers of qi and blood. This also leads to the diminishment of the capability of the observing mind. In its turn, the diminishment of the capability of the observing mind reduces the acuteness of the remembering mind. Thus, an aged person should refrain from turning his observing mind outwards, but should instead turn it inwards, to the inside. When the observing mind operates inwards, it can perceive the supernatural and supernatural activities. Moreover, the refined powers and qi powers are then not ruined or spent off in external use. When turning his observation inwards, the practitioner can hear and perceive his heartbeats, become aware of his tongue's power in the blood, the power in exhalation, the power of via, and finally, the life in the life's powers of qi and blood. Regarding the two capabilities and functions of the mind, thinking and intelligence, they too must be trained and developed in order to be sustained, and the most effective way of training is to turn them inwards and perform them from inside. The observing mind takes notice of the supernatural and supernatural facts and observes the memories to constitute factual information, data, for the capability of thinking. Thinking and creating from the supernatural and supernatural facts, the intelligence mind becomes the supermind. So, it suffices to say that people in their youth should frequently train the capability of thinking and creating for the intelligence mind, and in their old age should develop the capability of thinking and creating for the intelligence of the supermind. In brief, the mind is similar to the body in the way that if the mind is not put into frequent exercise, it will not be mighty. However, the capabilities of the functions of the mind should be trained in accordance with their periods of descendant and ascendant transmutations. Generally, a periodic cycle of descendant transmutation of the four sacred substances in man is 8 years for masculine attributes and 7 years for feminine characteristics. After these periodic cycles, they follow ascendant transmutations. There are only few exceptional cases. In males, blood, sensations, transmute descendantly from 1 to 32 years old. Qi, feelings, transmute descendantly from 8 to 40 years old. Electric, virtues or wickedness, evilness, transmutes ascendantly from 16 years old onward infinitely. Light, Tao's characters, transmutes ascendantly from 20 years old onwards infinitely. Blood and qi transmute descendantly to their limits, then the body begins to lose its strength and vigor gradually, and runs into disintegration, but their powers transmute ascendantly into other kinds of power, which are less heavy but mightier. Exercising and performing the capabilities of the functions of the mind are to increase the electric power and the cosmic energy of the light. In another way, if one nourishes virtues and Tao's characters or puts them into practical use in his social life, the capabilities of the mind's functions are developed as well. For man to evolve voluntarily through methods, exercising, rectifying oneself, living Tao, there is only one way, using the marvelousness, sacredness, and miraculousness in his brain. Man's head contains marvelousness, sacredness, and miraculousness. The 5 natural sense organs, the 3 super sense organs, and the sacred sense organ All are located in the head. The head is the center of awareness, knowledge, understanding, and immediate understanding of the cosmic cause. It can direct, conduct, and control all life's powers of the four sacred substances. It contains the life and can nourish it from the gathering of the four sacred substances. Also, it holds within itself the invisible organs, namely the heart, the character, temper, the spontaneity of attitude and feelings, the soul, the mind, the conscience, the supermind, and the supermind.